Hi, this is Everett, Everett's Watercolors, and welcome to Simply Drawing with Everett tonight at 7:30 p.m. Here I am. I'm broadcasting live from my studio to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, and later on into Instagram. And I'm in my studio today with my wife, Gloria,
Hello, everybody.
and she'll be monitoring the broadcast and also the chat room. Chat room's live, so if you have a question or comments during the broadcast, just put them up there in the chat room, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Uh, if this is your first time you've seen the broadcast, please subscribe to my channel, and also give me a like and give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. It helps my rating, and also you'll be informed of my next live video. I see Brazen Harden. Welcome aboard. It's good to see you again. Okay, we got a little demo tonight of drawing. I'm going to do that hand picture pump which you saw a picture of on my my announcement. So I'm going to do it. First of all, I'm going to do a drawing tonight, and then we're going to go to my drawing pad that I have, my sketch pad that I do weekly. I'll show you what I did there on an on-location sketch. Then I want to show you something else. I'm going to show you my new walk and sketch journal, which is where I keep all my information available. And I'll talk a little bit about that when I get there. So I'm going over to my overhead camera, and we'll get started with the drawing. Okay, here's this hand pitch pump. Now, if you've seen one of those, this is an old timer. I grew up in the farm when I was younger, and we had one in the backyard. And I'll tell you what, this thing was plugged into a spring under the house. And I'll tell you, if you've ever tasted fresh spring water, you won't believe it. You'd never go back. It's so sweet and so great. I'll tell you, when I was younger, it was just so tasty. The water you taste today is all filtered, and you can't even taste the water. There's no taste of water anymore. But this spring water, oh, it was delicious. Okay, so I'm going to draw this tonight, give you a quick drawing, and then I've got some other things to show you. So I'm going to start out here with a ring up here at the top. Now, I'm using a regular piece of sketch paper, but I'm using a mechanical pencil with a 2B lead. This is called Right in the Rain. It's a mechanical pencil which I use, and it's good for my outdoor drawing, and it's got 2B lead, which is nice and dark, and I use this for my outdoor sketching. So I'm going to start up here at the top, and I'm just going to do, it's probably not going to be as large as this drawing here, as far as a picture. And I'm going to start here with a ring here. Then I'm going to go up here to the top of this pump, and it's about halfway across, a little over halfway. I'm going to get that top there and come around. There's a little. Now, what I'm going to use, I'm using contour drawing. If you remember back in the very beginning of my classes, my demonstrations, we talked about contour drawing, where you follow the contour of the shape. You concentrate on the. You don't even have to look at it sometimes. Just don't have to look at the pen on the paper, on the pencil. You just draw what you see. So I'm just drawing a contour of what I'm seeing here. And I'm going to come up this side a little further out. Up, and the handle goes down. I'm going to bring this handle on down. Now we'll start working on some of the body here. I'll start here in the back side. Back side of this body coming down. I don't know the names of all the parts here. I'm just kind of pointing to here where I'm starting. Now I'll get to here, the front here, where you have the part the water comes through, the funnel, and it kind of has a couple slopes to it. It comes down, and it kind of comes down again, and it comes up. There's a little topper, and it comes down, then it goes straight ahead, straight like that. Then the back side is the back side of this. It comes down, it follows the same curve. It goes on the other side. There's a little opening here. It's where the water comes out into the bucket. And a little lip on it. We'll get that in. And then come across here, and there's a little ring around this. We'll get the ring in. Come to the back, and there's this long tunnel here, the long part that goes into the well. Into the spring well. I'll tell you, if you haven't tasted fresh spring water, you've really missed it. You got to try to find some. Go up to the mountains somewhere where they have these spring pumps, these hand pumps around, and try some right out of the the mountain streams. It's really once in a lifetime if you haven't done it before. And then I get the base here, come down, very simple base, comes down. This is where it hangs on to the base of the, wherever it's going to hang on. And it's got a little hole in it here where it has an opening, a little skirt to it, and then finally down to the bottom. And we finish this over, a little inside to that. Okay. And up here we'll finish the handle. The handle comes down, and you can see the bottom of the handle goes about halfway down. So we'll come down, and it comes pretty straight now. Pretty straight down to this part here. Notice I use a little contour drawing, just following, comparing angles and comparing sizes. And then it comes straight down again. And then it starts to curve in toward the main section here of the pump. Now this is pretty parallel. And that little contour there, then it comes down. And I notice here it's just a little bit longer, so I'm going to bring it down, and then bring this down a little bit more, like that. Okay. Now this also has a couple bolts on it and so forth. They're just for decoration purposes as far as I'm concerned. And then this section here is the part that brings the middle of the pump up. And it brings the water up. It's part of the plunge. Okay. All right. Now, so it took me about 5 minutes there to draw that. Now, what I'll do now, just while we're here, I'll take my watercolor pencils. I'm just going to put a little color on it. So this is a red. This is a red. So I'm going to take the watercolor pencil, using the side of the pencil, and kind of just put some color on this. I won't complete this. I won't complete this entirely, but I want to have a little bit of color on the. If I was drawing this for real, then I want to put a little bit of color on that. Be a little bit of red on the handle. But as long as I'm drawing and I have a colored pencil in front of me, I can use that also. Watercolor pencils are working just. And on my drawing kit that I take with me out in the field, or on my walks, when I do walking, I walk 3 times a week. I go out and do my exercise. I take a long walk, and I'll see something, I'll draw it. And if I have a place to sit down, then I'll stay there for a minute and do a little drawing. And I'm going to show you my sketch here in a few minutes, and I've got a couple little surprises to show you. Now, adding a little bit of orange to this now, put a little bit of orange to this, add it to the red, get a little more color. Now, I won't spend too much time on this because I just want to just kind of decorate this drawing up just a little bit. Okay, and now what I have now is I have a water pan. This is a water pan that has water in it, so it has a little reservoir of water. And then I take this on my sketch, because when I go out sketching, I have my pen with me and I have my pencil. And if I want to put color on something real quick, if I want to document what color I see, then I pull out my color pencils, and I do a quick color study, and I have more information. Also, of course, I have my cell phone. My cell phone is really my backup information. I have my cell phone. I'll take a quick picture, a snapshot, and then I have all the information I need. But what I like to do is get an on-location drawing. I want to get an impression of how I feel about this, and I want to get a sense of how I feel, what I see, and really be able to draw what I'm looking at. Now, photographs are fine, but there's nothing like drawing something real that you see. Now, the only thing I want to do now is I'm going to put a little dark now. There's a little shadow here. Now I'm going to use brown now. I used the orange, and now back here's a little shadow here in the back.
Brazen-hearted Googled, and it said they don't know where the nearest spring-fed water pump is located.
Well, you got to find an old farm, or go up into the mountains where they still have streams, and you can find one there. I know. You have to go look for them.
Stark Music says very true.
And I'm going to put a little, instead of that silver, I'm going to put a little bit of brown up here. Again, I'm putting a little bit of color on these sections that are just a little more definition right here, okay? Just put a little color. Okay, then I can add, I'll take my water brush and I can darken up just a little. So real quick and do it real quick and just to get a couple brushwork here. And then let's say just for fun, we're out here in the woods or on the farm. We got some green grass behind us, so let's put a little bit of green around us. So and green is a nice contrast with the orange and red. Using complementary colors here, but you always have a lot of greenery around on the farms or even in the woods somewhere. I know I've been along the mountain trails going across country, and I've seen a lot of these pumps along the road, especially near where the mountains are, because there's a lot of mountain streams up there and they still can pump by hand the water. And I can remember pumping fresh water out of here. We'd fill up a bucket, take it into the house, and my grandmom would be cooking. She used it for cooking. Of course, we use it for washing our hands and face. But it was mostly for drinking water. This was really, we had some horses and some animals on the farm, so this was also good drinking water for the animals. Brings back a lot of memories. You can tell a lot of things I'm drawing is old-fashioned stuff because it brings back a lot of memories. But a lot of the old-fashioned stuff are fun to draw. They have a lot more meaning to them. They don't make them like these. They don't make these things like this. Now this is a picture I took out of the internet. They still sell these pumps, so they're still around. And I'm going to show you one. I'm going to show you an older one that I took a photograph of that is kind of an antique. And I drew that one also on location. I'll put a little bit of green around that. So that kind of finishes off my drawing. I just wanted to finish it off and just put the color in there. And I don't want to get it too fancy. I just want to show you when you find something like this, a picture, you can draw it. And that way you can also memorize the shapes and so forth. Okay, now let me take you to my drawing sketch pad. This is a sketch pad I take with me on my walks. I go out walking 3 or 4 times a week, and when I go out for exercise, but I take my sketchbook with me. It's just a sketchbook, and I take my my pencil I just showed you I drew with. I take my pencil, and that's all I need. And I can take my colored pencil with me also. But I found this. Here's the one I did on location. You can see here I did the same pump. Let me get up nice and close. Same hand pitcher pump, and it's on a pipe with water, and there's a bucket on the end of it. That's normally how you'd see them. You'd see them with a pipe to going into the water stream, into the spring. Then you see a bucket on the spout, which would collect the water. That's how you would normally see it when they're in use. Now this wasn't, and this has probably not been in use. This is just on a property, and they just had it there, looked for decoration on the property. So that's what I just drew this last week on location. So I've had a little bit of practice drawing picture pumps. Now let me take you to my my walk and sketch journal. This is really a lot of fun. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, this is my. You look at you can look at my sketch journal. It says walk and sketch journal. Of course, this is number 2. I've got another one already filled in, so I'm starting a brand new journal. And it's got a cover on it, and it hasn't not finished yet, but I'm just starting it. And I want to show you the picture I had. Now this is a picture of the pump that I actually drew, that I actually made the sketch out of over here. Here's a copy of the sketch I just showed you in my sketchbook. This is just a photocopy. Now this is actually the pump that I drew drew the picture from. Now in my walking sketchbook, what I do is I document what I see. Now this is an actual photograph of the item, and this is my drawing of the item. Okay, then I make a lot of notes to what I saw, how I liked it, the location. I make sure I got the date down there when I did it, and I give it a title, and then I'll describe how I did it and what colors I used. Okay, now usually I'll put in the watercolors. I'll put the watercolors in here also, and I haven't done that yet, but I will. So this is my walk and sketch book, which I do every week. I've been filling this out, and you can see here I've got other sketches in here that I've been doing. And typically, what I'll do, I'll take a picture of what I've done, then I'll take a picture. I'll take a picture of or a photo of what I've drawn, and I'll put them into my sketchbook, and a lot of descriptions of how I did it. And you can see in here I've got the colors I used to paint the actual thing. Okay, now let me go through a couple other things with you.
Star Music is saying that you get the older ones, village pumps from wells, usually not in use nowadays. They're from the UK.
Yeah, UK. Wow.
Yeah.
In the UK, well, I'll tell you what. They're usually right now they're for decoration. A lot of them have them they have them in their yards, and they show them as decoration in their gardens and stuff like that. They're sometimes hard to find around most of the homes nowadays. But if you go up into the mountains or up into some of the parks that some have the older equipment around, you'll find them. Now, this journal, I'm going to go back step slightly. This journal I made here, it comes from the composition notebook, and this is college ruled, and this is the standard one. It's black and white, and there's other ones with different colors on. So this is what I started with. I started with the composition notebook, and I got this advice from my wife Gloria. She found a lot about this, about making journals using composition notebooks. And journals are used for everything. They're used for all kinds of inspirational gathering. You can put all kinds of stuff in. And I'm using mine for art. And that's what I'm using mine for.
Many of you may be familiar with the inspirational journals, junk journals, art journals. It's just all kinds.
Okay. Now the way I prepare mine is I will start with a page, and I will take, because I'm using watercolor sometimes on my descriptions or so forth, what I'll do is I'll paste two pages together. So page 1 and page 2, I'll put it together. I'll put it together with some glue, and I'm using Elmer's glue, which you can buy at any store. I bought mine at the grocery store. This is Elmer's glue, which comes in a stick. And what I do is I take the second sheet, and I'll go around all four sides. One, down this side, here, and even go in the middle. But I'm especially the corners. And then, as I get the glue on this one, then I pull the first sheet over, and I smooth it out very nicely. Smooth it out. And what that does, it gives you a double thickness page. And that's very good for watercolor, or for even pen and ink if you got the dark ink, so forth. And that's what I've done in these sheets here. You'll notice that these pages are thicker, and I'm using watercolor on the sheets. I'm using watercolor, number one, to document my colors and to add more interest to the journal. Okay. So you'll notice here's another sheet where I'm putting the watercolors down here that I use, so I don't worry about it coming off on the other side. So they're double sheeted. Every page is double sheeted. And this one here, for example, I had these were not. I didn't have to double sheet this one, but I did it. I do all my pages double sheeted anyway, whether I use it or not. Okay. So you double sheet them so that you can use watercolor on top of this, and then you've got a well documentation. Now the things that I found out about this is. Gloria's been doing it with her. She started me about 2 months ago, and I went out walking, and on my walks, for example, my first one I ever did. That's my first walk sketch right there. Okay. This is what I found. What I found was I saw the light coming through the fence here, nice bright light, and I saw a nice background. And so I took a photograph of that and I did a quick drawing. I sketched in the major elements, the trees, the building, and some of the fences. But then when I came back to the studio, I drew in the detail at that point. I added the extra detail. And then I took my watercolor and added to that on top. So by using this little 5x7 sketchbook, and by opening it up, I get a nice big full sheet for a bigger drawing. Okay, and here's many more I've done. I've done all these since the 10th of June is when I started doing this. Okay, and I've been documenting my walks wherever I go. Here's a nice interesting one here. Now, when I have a bench, if I have a bench nearby, then I can stop, take my time, and I can color it in while I'm sitting there. So if I have a bench to sit down on, I'll sit there and I'll put the colors in like I did here. And I have my watercolor pencils and my water brush with me, and my pencil brush, so I can take the time to do that. And then I can always add to it when I come back to the studio. So so these are things that I've done on my sketchbook. I love to do sketches of different letters, and this is one of the things I've been falling in love with. Is I'm getting lettering on development names and so forth like that, and I love to do the lettering part. And I use a dip pen to do that. So I'll come back after I take the picture. I'll do a quick drawing on location to get an idea of the sizes and shapes. Then I'll come back and I'll do the detail work in the studio, and I use a dip pen with black ink, waterproof ink, to put in the details. And so that's what I get when I do that. Okay, and that's something I've really been enjoying doing.
Oh, you might want to remember to remind anyone interested in a composition book that they need to find the ones that have the stitching in the middle.
Okay.
Because if you don't, the pages will come out.
All right, good point. Now, if you open this one up here, this is the good composition book, and you go to the middle, and you'll see the center aisle here, the center row is stitched. There's a row of stitches down there, and what that does, that anchors the paper to the actual binding of the book. So you look for the stitching down here, and then you know you've got an original composition book, because there might be some copies out there that may not have it in there, and these pages may fall out on you. But this is a good one. Okay, there's a lot of pages in here. What I did on my first one here, I've done 48 pages on my first one, and also what I'm doing in mine is I'm putting a cover on the front, put a cover on it and a title of some kind. So you can choose whatever you want. I'm doing art, so I put some artwork I've done on here on the front page. And then on the inside, I can put, other art. I can do pictures or whatever I want to in here. And I'm going to cover the back. And in the front, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a table of contents. I'm going to write up a table of contents here, and that will tell me what's on every page, because I can label the pages, and then I can find out from the front here where things are located. So a table of contents in the front, and I'll be in good shape. Okay, do we have any questions?
We're having a good time tonight. Our viewers are enjoying talking with each other while we're enjoying your presentation. So
yeah, I see. Brazen's from Texas. I know that, and we got
Bristol,
UK,
Bristol, UK.
Bristol, UK.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. Let's see. Do we have? They know where Bristol is. 100 miles from London. Okay. Well, I know there's some beautiful things to draw and paint in England. I know that because England has got some old properties and some beautiful architecture, and that's got to be a great place to paint and draw and so forth, and pictures. If you have an opportunity to do a drawing or a sketch, if you do something like this tonight, you can share that on my Facebook page, Everett's Watercolors Art Group, on my Facebook page. If you do a drawing here you see on the program, and if you go to Everett's Watercolors and you can research on there, I got over 650 videos. If you do a drawing on there or a painting and you want to share that you've done, if you see here on one of my programs, and you can post it and put it on my Facebook page, Everett Watercolors Art Group on Facebook. And then I can take a look at it. I'd appreciate that. You can share that with the other group that's on there. Oh,
Oh,
any other questions or comments?
it's nearly 1 a.m. there, so
Wow.
Start Music isn't always able to look at the stream, but she's going to look up Facebook.
Yeah, look up Facebook. Also, I have lots of videos that you can see any 24/7 on everettwatercolors.com. And you go in there and you can search for photos, or just go in there and start looking at the page. Everett Watercolors on YouTube. And you go to my Facebook page, Everett Watercolors Facebook, then you can find me on there on Everett Watercolors Art Group.
And post anything that you paint or draw.
Anything you draw or paint from my programs, okay? And I appreciate, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up and a like. It helps my rating. And also, when you're subscribed, you'll get all the notifications of all my programs that I put on live and broadcast. I'll be back again next week on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. I'm sorry.
You gonna do your camera view? We can't
Oh, yeah, Facebook. I'm sorry. I'm getting a cue here from Gloria, and she's correct. Give me a facial view here so you can see what I look like. You saw me in the beginning, but I want to show you who I am at the end. All right, this is Everett. Again, what I was saying was, I'll be back again next Thursday. I come on at 2 o'clock p.m. with Everett Watercolors. I do a watercolor demonstration and discussion. And then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do Simply Draw with Everett. I'll be back again next Thursday. And on the weekends, what I do, on Sunday, I'll put out a short video called Anyone Can Draw with One Line Only. And it comes out on Sunday. And again, it'll be on my Facebook page. And again, if you're subscribed to my channel, you'll be notified of that also. And you can also find it on everettwatercolors.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, just by logging in, and also just searching for my shorts. And I have shorts on there too during the week. I may do a sketch or something. I may put a short on there on the weekends, on a Saturday or Sunday, some things that I'm working on. So that way we can stay in touch, and you can stay abreast of what I'm doing and what I'm up to, and I appreciate that. So nice talking to you all. Nice checking in with London, or near London, Bristol.
Yeah.
And also in Houston, Texas.
And if there's something that they would like to see in a program, we'd love people to leave comments and suggestions for what they'd like to view.
Yeah, if you can share by word of mouth, tell your friends, to show your other artists or people interested in art. And if you would like something, if you would like me to try something or do something, I'm always open for ideas and experiments and so forth like that. I experiment all the time about different techniques and things. So if you'd like to see something in the future, just give me a note, let me know. Put it in. Now, if you haven't commented tonight, that's fine. You can also comment on the video below in the comment section on the video. It'll be out. Let's see. It goes on. What happens is after the show, it goes into the archives, and then it'll be rebroadcast. It'll be available for review on YouTube and Facebook again by tomorrow morning. And then you can make a comment and so forth. So I appreciate you all from looking at me, and I'll see you all next week. And Gloria, you anything to say?
Oh, thanks for watching.
And thanks for watching. Double that one. Ditto. So thank you, and we'll see you next week on the next live video. So bye for now.